Hi guys, welcome back to Yard to Table, Urban Homestead. And in this series, I'm going to show you guys what I make for dinner every single night with my for my family. And in today's episode, I'm trying to crop up my kids. We have leftover turkey from this past Easter, so I've just literally just cut up whatever was on the bones, and there's basically nothing on there. I will be freezing these bones because then I take these bones and I add them to a big stock pot, and then I make broth out of them. So right now these are just going to go into a Ziploc bag. I've got tons of bags going with lots of veggie scraps and other bones that we've got, and it's really only our family. I don't cook for anybody else. Nobody really comes over. Nobody comes over for dinner. We just moved into an area about a year ago where we don't know anybody, but we love the area, so we live here. And in saying that, I pretty much only cook for my family. Anytime we have people over, I just do fresh cut everything. I don't use anything really from the pantry, broth-wise and whatnot, so not to worry there. And I am making kind of like a turkey stroganoff. I'm using bits and parts of whatever's left over in my fridge. So I had some peppers and dehydrated onions that I did just before we went to Mexico a few months ago. This is fresh celery that I had just chopped up. And over here, I've got some carrots that I left over from Easter dinner. If I keep saying Thanksgiving, I really mean Easter. And I've got some broth. I don't think I'm going to need it, but I don't know. And I've got some blue chunky cheese Renee salad dressing. Oh, by far my favorite dressing ever. I love blue cheese, gorgonzola cheese, all the sticky cheeses. And I have a little bit of cream cheese, Philadelphia cream cheese, that I used for my mashed potatoes this past weekend. This is all that I have left, and so I'm going to use that up. And then I've got some gravy in here. I'm thinking of making like a sauce and just really thinning this out. It's really gelatinous, so we're going to see if we can break that up. And then over here, I've just got a container, if I can get it open with one hand, of Greek yogurt. It's just plain. There's some whey in it, so I might discard that and put it into another container because I really like using the whey, the liquidy stuff for when I make my mayo. And I'm pretty sure that's called whey, but if it's not, I'm mistaken. It is what it is. And before I burn my cell phone cord, let me show you what I'm doing. So I've just thrown these into my wok. I trimmed down the heat, and I've just got all these veggies kind of figuring themselves out. And I have not put any spices in here whatsoever at all. And what do I want to put in here? As far as spices go, the turkey does have quite a bit of flavor in here. So I'm actually not going to add any more to it. And it helps if I get all of it in there. There we go. So this is what I basically do every single time I make dinner. I really try and stretch out the amount of food that I'm making. What is that? That is, oh, this is my cabinet. I'm like, why does it look so weird? I'm trying to let you guys have a good view of this. All right, so this is clearly, we have 4 people in our home. This is going to be for more than one meal. I think I might actually put this over, I don't know, either rice or noodles. It's really, really user-friendly. And you know what? Let's do rice. So I will be right back. I'm just going to let this heat up thoroughly, and then we are going to work on our sauce, and I'm just going to make some rice. In here, I've got 4 cups of water, so rinse it and make rice however you make for your family. And this is just plain white rice. I have literally run out of brown rice, so it is what it is. And I'm making significantly more rice because if I'm going to make rice in my Instapot, yes, it takes hardly any time, but I've also got a plan for this, and I'm already thinking of the next meal that I'm going to do with this rice. So I've got 4 cups of rice, and I'm just going to rinse this, throw it in my Instapot, and I will let you know for how long. This chart came with my Instapot, and I have this taped on the inside of my cabinet. It also happens to be right beside the stove and where I have all my spices. And this is a great sheet. I love this. It tells me white rice, 4 minutes, 1-to-1 ratio. So I just made 4 cups of rice and I set it on my Instapot, and now I'm gonna turn up the heat because it turned it down. Because taping this and like recording this and doing everything, this takes longer than this meal does. All right, so this is all figuring itself out. And because I have dehydrated, where are they? Dehydrated onions, they are gonna take a little bit more time, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna make a hole in the middle because I wanna make this really nice and saucy. And when I make things saucy, it stretches stuff out that much more. So I have the gravy. That's not coming out. There we go. We've got the gravy from this past weekend. And we've got that thing of Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm on medium right now. What I'm doing with the salad dressing is there was about maybe this much salad dressing left. So basically like 1 person's worth of salad dressing. I threw some chicken broth into there. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna create this yummy liquid. I'm just gonna pour it on there. And by doing the chicken broth instead of water, I'm adding a lot more flavor using chicken broth to rinse this out. And doing it this way, you can see how clean that bottom is. There's no way I would ever be able to get there unless I literally spent the next 10 years of my life trying to scoop it out with a spatula. So I'm gonna turn it up on high. I've gotta break this up, so I'm just gonna use this like flipper thing. It came with my wok. This is a carbon steel wok, and I love this thing. It's got nice high edges on it, which is so hard to find. It does have a flat bottom, which is amazing because a lot of the times the woks that I've seen are rounded and you need to have like a special like metal piece that actually sits on your stove. This one doesn't require it. It's really kind of user-friendly for everything. I'll try to find it on Amazon if I can, maybe through my history. It took me a long time to find this, but I'm not affiliated. Well, not yet. At this moment in time, I am not affiliated. And I'm gonna throw in the carrots from dinner because those need to be eaten. What else? Okay, this yogurt, I don't know if I'm gonna actually need to use the yogurt. Because this is already so creamy. And what I like to do is, because this is so much, like when I'm looking at my wok, and this is, what, maybe, this is more than 12 inches. This wok is, 12.5 inches in diameter. I'm already splitting this up into meals. So I have a rough idea as to how much my family is going to eat in one sitting. So easily half of this is for another time. Now, when I'm creating meals, I'm always thinking, can I stretch this even more? Can I make this turkey last even more? Because every time I make dinner, my goal is to try and make a delicious meal in $10 or less. $10 is an expensive meal. And of course, anything over and beyond that is even more so. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, okay, so what else can I put in here that would really, really stretch this out? My family loves corn, so I think I'm actually gonna go into the garage and get a can of corn and throw that in. And I'm not gonna do beans. Let's see what else we can find. When I went to the garage, I was able to find a can of peas and a can of sweet corn. So both those things are gonna go in. And now, based on the volume, I am gonna be able to do possibly 4 meals out of this. I'm just gonna turn down the heat because at this point, everything is nicely cooked. And all I wanna do is I just want to heat the peas and the corn all together nicely. I haven't even tasted this. So I always like to season at the end. I have a little bit of cream cheese that hasn't really, there we go. At this point, all I'm doing is I'm using the spices off that turkey that we had over Easter dinner. And look at that. How beautiful is that? All right, so when I taste test, the peas and the corn haven't really had a chance to do their thing. So I only try and scoop up the cream when I do this early in the game. Oh my gosh. I love cooking like this. It takes no time. You use all the scraps and it's so... When you're cooking like this, you always have to have like a showstopper. So who's going to be in charge? So you're going to have the boss, which is my turkey, and then you're going to have like all their friends that hang out with the turkey. So it's going to be my carrots that are left over. They don't have a taste to it because I just boiled them, right? So they can go together. The chicken broth, chicken and turkey, are very similar in tasting. And if you don't have those, you can either do a vegetable broth or a beef broth. That would be, the beef broth would bring like a heaviness to it, like a satiated kind of heavy flavor to the turkey, which would turn out very nicely. And the cheese. So when you do a creamy sauce, it's cream cheese, it's yogurt, those types of things. So yes, I did put in a blue cheese salad dressing, but that blue cheese salad dressing isn't so overwhelming that it's gonna kill it, that it's gonna start tasting terrible. And even if it was, the turkey and the blue cheese go very nicely together because the turkey has thyme, rosemary, sage, all of those like warm hug kind of Thanksgiving turkey, Easter turkey flavors to it. So they get along well with the blue cheese. And what else did we do? With the veggies, can't go wrong with veggies, and same with the corn and the peas. So I'm gonna go divvy this out. I'm still waiting for my rice to cook. I'm basically done. I'm just waiting on that guy to be done. And this is easily 4, if not 5 meals just in this, and I haven't spent a ton of money on it. So I'm gonna show you guys how I package this up once it cools, and then all it becomes is a freezer meal. So then once I package it up, when I have it as a freezer meal, all I have to do is thaw it out the day of, and then make something. So either make noodles, make rice. If you've got leftover mashed potatoes, push mashed potatoes on the bottom, throw this stuff on top, and then you're just heating everything up.
Delusional. You're so delusional.
So here's me thinking that I would have 4 meals with my family out of this, but everybody except myself had a double, if not triple serving of this. So I am now just down to 1 other meal.
Delusional.
Anyway,
like on the
so that's how we roll sometimes in this house.
Double like on the video, double like.
Oh, double like.
And 1, 2, 3. Delusional. You're so delusional.
Okay. Okay. Go do your homework. This is one supper that I don't have to worry about. It's not 2 additional ones, but right now I can see it's fogging up, so it's not quite ready to go into the freezer. So I'm just gonna leave this uncovered off to the side over here. Nobody can get to it. And I will put this in the freezer just before I go to bed. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I'm gonna show you guys what I make for dinner for my family. Oh my gosh, my hair is just out of control. And I hope you guys really like this episode. I hope I can help you guys get stuff out of your fridge and onto the plates in a healthy and, more importantly, cheaper option than normal. And I will see you guys on the next episode. I have already, where's my rice? I have already pre-done my rice for tomorrow's dinner, and you might think with these 2 episodes, oh my gosh, they eat a lot of rice. We actually don't. I just have plans for that rice, so that's why I doubled it, and I figured minus we'll have rice back to back. So we're not gonna have rice with that, although if you wanted to, you could put it again on leftover mashed potatoes, on pasta. You could put it over lettuce if you're keto. I don't know if this is keto, but I know you're not supposed to eat rice and potatoes and pasta on keto. So if you're wanting to put it on lettuce, sometimes I do that too, and that is also an option. So thanks for hanging out with me today in my kitchen, and I will see you guys on the next episode.